into the forest. And even before going into the forest, some animals would come immediately when a child is born. Nowadays, if an animal appears when a child is born, it is killed. Stop! I'm teaching this so that the animals can also at least have a smooth time here. Stop hating the animals. Start loving the animals. They're not evil. They're here to balance you and support you. If you have an issue with an animal, know that you have an issue with your balance, with Libra energy or your Taurus energy. Kindly. So after the destruction of black civilizations, Europe destroyed the science of totems with claims that totems were fostering discrimination based on appearance, location, and declared totems pseudoscience in the 20th century. So totems was not non-existent until the 20th century. Do you know how recent that is? Do you know that entire time where Africans were not allowed to go to school, Africans were not allowed to access books, to access education, what was happening was everything that black people had built was being erased during that particular time. When black people, let me not say Africans, when black people were not being allowed to be themselves, when they were being spat on and treated like doormats by everyone else, what was happening behind the scene was the erasure of this Ubuntu. And it succeeded, guys. It succeeded. I'm not even going to brag at you. It succeeded. But then that success has been since the 20th century only. We are in the 21st century. It's not been long. And remember, Africa was invaded in the 19th century. In a strong, powerful way, in a military way. You know, invasion started a long time ago, but now the one, and guys, this is why I'm always talking. Africa's invasion was a time thing. It took 1,000 years, if not 2,000 or something. Because since the introduction of Jesus, when Jesus was introduced, that was the Renaissance. That was like the winning of the Greeks, of the patriarchs, of the men. And men, they won. And that is the reason why we have horseless carriages. Men cannot tame the animals in the jungle. It's a woman thing. So when they removed the women from the throne, then the animals were also scattered everywhere. And because the animals were scattered everywhere, dark ages came, because now we had to figure out other ways to be independent. Not us, the patriarchs now, the ones that destroyed the matriarch. They had to figure out other ways to be independent. So they started inventing their own things that did not have oxygen. And then enslaving others to do now the work that animals were supposed to be doing. Black people were enslaved after the animals that were doing the work fell out of harmony. Ubuntu split, animals went away. And now guess who was there to do the whole work that animals were doing? And black people started doing the work by carrying. Black people were the transport system for a very long time. Black people were the ones who were carrying people, traveling, like leaving Kisumu to Mombasa. They were the ones who were carrying people on the road, guys. See history. See what your ancestors went through. You wouldn't even survive a day. Some of us wouldn't survive a day. Now, to replace totems was meritocracy, purely based on European approval and purpose. So now, before, your ability to tame a totem, your ability to tame an animal would automatically give you divine authority and rulership. You would become like an owner of Tesla. Your ability to tame was what gave you authority in society. But because totems were removed out of the questions, now we had to go to school, get a degree. If a white man approves, then you might get a job. If a white man does not approve now, you become useless and nothing over there. The rites of passage was conducted to awaken. Now, rites of passage in ancient time. The rites of passage was conducted to awaken totems within each generation. Once a totem was awakened within you, and guys, I still have friends who went through this system. Up to today, I still have friends who went through this system of rite of passage, and I'm telling you, there are different breeds of human beings. Africans that went through the rites of passages, especially men, are different breeds of human beings. Especially the ones that were given, the Bantus that were not infiltrated. The ones that were being given the secrets. Through the rites of passages, you are being taught how to survive outside your village. Now, the rites of passages was conducted to awaken totems within each generation. Once a totem was awakened within you in your village, that totem would have all the totems in the world of its type bow to you wherever you went. Once you tamed a lion in Ethiopia, you wouldn't have a problem with a lion in Nigeria. So rites of passage and honor, it wasn't barbaric. And imagine that is where we are going to go back to. That is where we are going to go back to, because right now, remember, we are in a world where pedophilia is everywhere. People don't even know what a child is. People don't even know what a woman is. Now that is the result of men taking over. We are at a point, they trashed everything that the matriarchs built. Now they don't even know at what age should a child be ready for marriage. Now they don't even know. People are fumbling left, right, center. Oh, at what child is a child? Because the systems that were set up, they saw them as barbaric and removed them, and as uncivilized and removed them. Now we have pedophilia, and pedophilia is the result of mother is dead. When you see pedophilia in society, know that there is no divine feminine energy there. The elephant there is gone. Have you seen an elephant with its child? The moment you're at a point where you are not an elephant to your child anymore, pedophilia is the next thing. Automatically. And what is pedophilia, guys? I talk about pedophilia a lot because that is the first thing that we should address, because pedophilia runs very deep. And a lot of people are pedophiles even without knowing. And this is how I'll tell you. How do you know you are a pedophile? If you ever laughed at somebody for trying for the first time. Pedophilia is deep, guys. Pedophilia is not just about sleeping with a child. Pedophilia is you sucking innocence out of everyone, even people who are not children. The ability to watch somebody try for the first time and watch their Capricorn energy build. Watch their Capricorn energy build until they become. That is a mother thing. So when you're somebody who you laugh at, somebody they're trying for the first time, and you're laughing at them, pedophile. You're a pedophile. Imagine. If you've ever done that, you have pedophilia tendencies deep within your soul. And a lot of people are like that in our society. So pedophilia is so deep in our society. And guys, talk about it. Address it. A lot of people are victims of it. A lot of people who are culprits. Talk about it amongst yourself. Turn to your victim. And if you know you are a pedophile to someone, apologize to people. Go back and apologize to people. Have these conversations. Because as long as you've ever sucked innocence out of the planet, all of us here, we are children. As long as somebody is trying for the first time, new at a job, new at a talent, new on earth, new anywhere, they're just starting afresh, and you pick on them, that is pedophilia behavior. So, and our society is infested so deep, I don't even want to mention it. And I pray for our society that we walk away from it. Because we need to live in a world where children are let to bloom, innocence is let to ripen on its own. Picking innocence, those are people who pick on children too. And there are many, there are very many, especially men. women too, but especially men. Anyway, rite of passage was conducted to awaken totems within each generation. Once a totem was awakened within you in your village, that totem would have all the totems in the world of its type bow to you wherever you went. Domestic totems will only survive within village borders, while wild totems could survive within village borders and beyond. Totems that are inactive within you make you an automatic enemy to that animal and all humans who have mastered that totem. So for example, lion means confidence. So the moment you are not confident, you are an enemy to a lion. And not just a lion, but you are an enemy also to people who are confident. So guys, also see your enemies around the world. Don't close your eyes and embrace a pet. See reality. When you know you have a lion totem and somebody doesn't have, just boundaries and border. Let them live over there with the gazelles. You live over here with the lions. Because you will be automatic enemies, whether you like it or not. You will not rhyme. So just, especially if they are timid to a fault, they are opposite to a fault, you will not get along. So totems and locations. I've talked to you about rites of passages. I wanted to really emphasize on that, because we will talk more about rites of passages as we go. Now, totems and locations. The absence of a certain animal from your ancestral lands indicates the absence of those totems within your DNA. Vice versa is also true. So when you see Europeans who are complaining, this is what they say: after the destruction of black civilization, Europe destroyed the science of totems with claims that totems were fostering discrimination based on appearance, locations, and declared totems pseudoscience. So discrimination based on appearance, location. So you see, even turning the maps upside down, it was out of jealousy of location, because certain locations are truly heaven and certain locations are truly hell. So certain people, they wanted their location to seem like it is heaven, and they wanted certain people's location to seem like it is hell. So because even totems, they are only in certain locations. Totems are not everywhere. So the absence of a certain animal from your ancestral lands indicates the absence of those totems within your DNA. Vice versa is also true. Now, only work with totems that have mastered Ra. Now, I'll show you a depiction of this particular picture. Now, look at the mouth. Look at the mouth of this bird. When you're working with totems, you can't just go honor. Just because you're a spiritual person, never allow somebody to just project you to animals, especially during this particular point in time. So there are animals that are traumatized outside there. Just like you are a human being, there are things that have traumatized you as a human being as you're growing. So animals too, they've had certain encounters that have traumatized them so much that certain animals are no longer human conducive. So before you always interact with animals, always ensure that they've mastered Ra. Meaning they do no evil and they accept no evil. They do no evil. Animals that do no evil and accept no evil, when you are a human being that does no evil and accepts no evil, you marry. So that's why only work with totems that have mastered Virgo, that's Ra energy, and does not evil and accepts not evil, and are present in your ancestral land. So right now, mostly look for totems that are present in your ancestral land before you engage into this particular art of totems. Yeah. Up to this point, questions. I'm taking questions now. Let me go back and see if there's a question I missed. Oh, Siri, what does the fear of insects mean? What does the fear of insects indicate? I love them. So different insects are different messages, and there are different types of insects. So, you know, it's like you're telling me you fear texting. It's like saying you fear texting nature. You fear having a chat with nature, like, because insects are like those quick texts that only come when necessary. Like, for example, if you see a lot of flies around, then there is dirt around. If you see a lot of butterflies around, then there is beautiful thoughts around. You know, such kind of stuff. See a lot of grasshoppers around, then there is either good luck or bad luck around. Depends. So it's just the way they are insects, they're small like that. It's just direct messages. I have a lot of snails in my doorstep. What does that mean? Self-care. You need to take some time to take care of yourself, especially when it comes to you being clean. Especially when it comes to you being clean, you need to take care of that very well. Make sure your hair is clean, your nails are clean, you're, you know, scrubbing your feet properly, clean, your armpits are clean. Just be clean, baby. Snails, they just come to tell you, baby, it's time to. And it's not like that it's because you're dirty. No, it's just time to be a little clean more. Doesn't mean that you're dirty. It means that you need to be you need to take care of your cleanliness more. Roaches are, and please guys, don't start asking me about all insects in the world. It's not fun. It's not fun to answer like that. So roaches are shame oriented. Just go research about animals on your own and see what relationship. You are women. You people are the ones that created these things. Go know these things, especially Bantu women. I don't expect a Bantu woman to keep asking me about animals or plants. You people, you are the ones who mothered these things. Go figure it out. Cockroaches are shame. You're embarrassed a lot. If you are never ashamed of yourself, you'll never see a cockroach around you. So please kindly, unless a totem has mastered Virgo energy, they can analyze and see that, oh, this spirit is clean. Oh, this spirit is dirty. Unless an animal is like that, don't be close to that animal. So now totems and locations. As we are almost coming to an end. So, for example, these are where lions are in the whole world. So lions, in history, lions used to be everywhere here where you are seeing there's beige. Where there's beige. In Asia, some little bit of Europe, some little bit of Middle East, and then Africa as a whole. But then with time, lion totems have only remained in the orange places. So there are people who are killing the animals. There are people who are finishing the totems in the world. The spirit realm is under attack. Animals are endangered. Totems are being wiped out. And when animals are disappearing, know that it is happening to human beings as well. There are people who are trying to be confident, and their confidence is being smashed. There are children who are born confident, and their parents make sure they are timid. So these are the only places. If you know you don't come from anywhere, from this place, don't claim any lion totem. Modern world, if you know you don't come from any of this place, there's no lion totem for you. If you don't come from the orange, the places that are written orange, the places that have orange are the only places that have lions remaining, baby girls. Is your place there? In the whole world, girls. These are the only places where lions are remaining. Middle East imeisha, Asia hakuna, Europe nothing. Africa is the only place with the confident people, with the truly confident people. You know, when you tell Africans this, they will never believe it because of the mainstream. What is in the mainstream? But people who have spiritualized, they know. Africa is the only place that is remaining with confident people that can rule the world. Remember, lion is the ruler. So if you are expecting to have some leaders who are going to save the world, don't look anywhere else, my dear. Hakuna mtu mwingine. Pharaoh totem is a lion totem. There's no, without lion there's no pharaohship. Hakuna pharaoh hapa. No lion totem, no pharaohship. No pharaoh, no bantu. Sijui kama mnanielewa, especially wale wa Afrika. Wajaluo. Are there any Luos with me here? Do you have any Luos in the comment section? The caretakers of the pharaohs, man. Caretakers of the pharaohs. Wajaluo mnafaa mutasimama, tutasimama, imagine. Tutasimama, imagine. Because now, and you're seeing, you know, the concentration, dongo. Well, dongo and matamba. This is why we have dongo and matamba. Dongo and matamba. Angola. See the countries, Tanzania, Ethiopia, a bit of Kenya around Lake Victoria there. Some bit of West Africa there. Chad huku. So guys, just know. The leaders are not going to come anywhere else. Leaders that are going to save the world are not going to come from China, Russia, nini. Wale ni wanajishughulikia. Wale wana live kama community wale. Hawana shughuli ya kusave dunia wale. Wale hawana shughuli ya kusave dunia wale. Wale bora watu wao wako sawa, imagine. So the true leaders that are going to save the world are going to be black people. So just know that. And you can be somebody who your ancestors come from here, but you were born somewhere else. Still, reality is reality. Where you come from, your land is your land. And the totems, they are there. And also, just to show you the face. Totems, they also portray the faces of people. So people with lion totems, you know, they have a particular face. And guys, love your face. There are certain faces that people don't like. Because it is a lion face and they are rats. Wanna love your face, imagine. That face, you know, some people, they have one face, but that one face can carry a lion, it can carry a chameleon, it can carry a rat, it can carry everything. The more diverse your face is, the better. And exercise these particular facial expressions that come with these totems. Exercise these facial expressions that come with these totems. When it is a lioness, when it is a lion, practice. Sometimes, imagine sometimes you can be very timid. You are not confident at all. But just because you practice the faces that lions make, confidence itakuja, imagine. You can be the most timid person on the planet. Now when you enter the Capricorn energy, you are practicing the faces that lions make. Hiyo itakupatia confidence, imagine. Be ready to use whichever means necessary. We are on the final laps. There's no time to be gullible. Final lap. No time to be gullible. So, as I'm saying, if you know you are not from this particular location, forget about the lion totems. Let nobody ever lie to you that they have a lion totem when they don't come from these particular places. If you know you come from these particular places, fear nobody on this particular planet when it comes to divine authority and rulership. Africans mnafaa kutembea hapa na kichwa zikiwa juu kabisa. Lakini time inakuja. Now the elephant totem. Now the territories of elephants, we have different types of elephants. So now elephant represents divine feminine energy. An elephant is like a woman in nature, literally. An elephant has boobs here. An elephant has its vagina right where human beings have their vagina, and they have two breasts. You know, you might think that they have breasts where cows have. No. They have breasts right where human beings have breasts, and they have their vagina, the private parts, right where human beings have. They're divine feminine energy working in nature, protectors of children. And as you can see, we have now the biggest elephant in the entire world. The purple places. The purple, and we're talking about the current territories. And notice how South Africa is going empty a lot. South Africa wametoa kila kitu, imagine. Wame-uproot kila kitu huko. Saizi ukiangalia vitu zenye zimebaki kwa dunia, South Africa hawana kitu. Huko desert ndio imebaki. Angalia. Desert imebaki huko. And yet, huko ndio watu walitoka. Anyway. You see the purple places? Those are where the divine feminine energy is on default. Of the biggest on land. And then we have the red places where we have another type of African elephant that is a special type that is here within West Africa. These are probably the ones that are currently saying, justice for Ochanya. Justice for Ochanya. Probably these red ones. And then we have now these orange ones. Around India, Uku. And then we have this Sri Lankan as well. Now Sri Lanka has its own special type. Just the way Africa also has the biggest on land. The divine feminine energy in Africa is the biggest on land. Bantu women. Bantu women, you see, even Europe doesn't even have elephants. Europe doesn't even have elephants. And a lot of Bantu women are people pleasers. They are looking to European women to teach them how to parent, how to live with a family. The Bantu women, you are the people who are supposed to be teaching everybody else how to raise children and how to live with men. Nobody should be teaching anybody on this world how to raise children and how to live with men apart from the people who have these elephant totems. Everybody else should shut up. When it comes to speaking about now raising children and living alongside men as a divine feminine entity, Bantu women are the ones who are supposed to be at the forefront leading that. Because the elephants in Africa are bigger than elephants everywhere else on the planet. The size of the elephants in Africa, So you Bantu women need to have some self-esteem so that you can start speaking up more and taking up forefront position. Honor, they are waiting for you to take it, imagine. Everybody's waiting for you to take it. Once a Bantu woman starts speaking, even if you are illiterate as fuck, you have the totem, Yawa. You have the totem. We cannot tell. Tell your mothers that are enlightened about how to raise children because they've raised proper children. To teach the world how to raise children. People don't know. Europe is rotten when it comes to raising children. Europe is rotten when it comes to raising children, guys. People who live there should tell you. And guys, normalize gossip. Africans who are in Europe, normalize telling Africans who are in Africa what is going on for real. Because Africans in Africa are respecting people who don't deserve respect. You are respecting people who don't deserve respect. And wale wameisha, rotten, sick, epileptic society. Imeisha ile. In Europe, it is children are the parents. Children are the parents in Europe, my dear. Children are the ones who are raising their parents there. Parents have no say. In Europe, you smoke a little weed like this, your children are taken away from you immediately. So Bantu women, the ones that you call them, they are Baluya, they are Bagusi, Ameru, Aembu, the Akamba, the Mijikenda, the Baganda. You people need to be coming out to teach the world how to raise children. And there are a lot of them now in South Africa. But then Southern Africa also know rotten as well. Europe, whatever is going on in Europe is the exact same thing that is going on in this particular part of the world. The same way parenting is rotten in Europe, it is rotten here as well. That's why the elephants are gone. In the present day, the elephants, they are gone. There's no elephant there anymore. So now these ones that are from Zimbabwe, Namibia, sijui Malawi, sijui wapi huku, Angola, Zambia, you people have work to do. You people have work to do. Because now when it comes to divine feminine energy, mothership is Bantu. But also look at how much they've drained them away. Endangered species, they are ending. And then next we have the leopards. And when it comes to the leopards, I'll speak because these types of leopards that are patched, they are recent. Now, the panther or the black leopard, whatever you call it, it's the core of leopard sheep. Now we have the lion as the ruler of the savannah, of the light. The lion rules the light. It's almost built like the sun. It rules the light. And then we have this Jaber here that now rules the dark. So while the lion is the king of the savannah, of the light, the panther for the black leopard is the queen of the jungle or the darkness or the unseen. And look, there are still many, by the way. Look at their distribution. So we have Africa. You see Africa, and people who are always talking, oh, Africa is not the origin. Africa is not the origin. There's no way, the writings, they stay on the walls. So Africans, when you hear people talking about Africa is not the origins, just look the other way, because you have all animals. 99% of animals are Africa based. They are in Africa. So meaning you have all the totems in the world. So when it comes to this totem, you see, this one is in a lot of places, a lot. India there, you're getting into China, into a little bit of Akina Indonesia, Huku. Then, also the Americas, you see South America almost everywhere. And a little bit of North America. So that's where intuition reigns. Those are the places. Also, guys, as I'm saying, if you want these particular energies to be energized in you, if you want these energies to be more inside of you, visiting the places where these animals are will help to enhance those energies in you. So don't just travel blindly. Don't just go on vacations blindly. Look, which animals are there where I'm going? What types of things am I going to be interacting with? Because, and by the way, this animal is not easy to kill. That's why it is not endangered, by the way. The black panther or the black leopard, not endangered at all. In fact, they are full numbers. Why? Because they are dark. They are not easy to hunt. They are not easy to spot. Just like there are certain animals that have never even been seen. They camouflage. So they can never be endangered. So even in South Africa, where almost every animal is endangered, you can see there the panther is still very much alive. Especially towards Cape, towards KwaZulu-Natal, Uku, a little bit of... Here, you see that this place that Cape is occupying, it is historic range. Meaning that even the panthers here inside Cape, these places they call Cape, Western Cape, Eastern Cape, Siju Free State has no panther anymore. But then when you look at the places that are dark green now, you look at Eastern Cape over here, a little bit of KwaZulu, KwaZulu-Natal. Now Lesotho has all its panthers already. Lesotho is untouched. And then you go back in Eswatini, Zimbabwe, Namibia has, Zambia has, and so on and so forth. So also just look and see the ones that are being erased, and also the leopard face, the face of intuition. You know, faces of human beings coming to birth. We all come to embody different types of intuitions in nature. So every time you see somebody has this particular face on, you know, you can camouflage, you can have this face sometimes you have another one, or you can have this constantly. I don't know, the way you are masking now. When it comes to your masking now, that is you and you. But those are some of the faces of intuition in nature. Now, I put flamingo here because of one thing. Flamingo is a totem of elegance. Flamingo is a totem of elegance, almost the same as the wasp. So people with flamingo totem have natural arc. You see this arc that I'm always talking about here, that makes you a woman. And it is the arc that is required when you're modeling, when you go for modeling gigs. That arc that makes you a model, that arc that makes you divine feminine. That arc, if you have that arc, know that you have this flamingo totem. If you have the arc, know that the flamingo totem is within you. Now when it comes to flamingo totems, we have them somewhere there, around up there in the Caribbean there. And then from Southern Africa, you see flamingos are not endangered, almost following the waters. You know, these are places where there are waters, all the way to Egypt. So a little bit of Somalia, Kenya, obviously, Ethiopia there. Then you come here also, a little bit of Nigeria, huku na kule, West Africa, up there, Tunisia, kidogo Morocco. And then you go to India, ukienda hivyo hivyo. Is it the Stan countries? You Stan gani hiyo? But these are the supply. I have that arc and that totem in my gun. Yes, that arc means that you have your way. If you have that arc, means that you can have your way. Especially when you sit on that arc. When you normalize sitting on that arc when making decisions. Normalize sitting on that arc when walking, when doing your things. Normalize it. It's not easy to sit on that arc, but when you normalize sitting on that arc, the arc will have you have your way a lot. So normalize sitting on that arc, and you will have your way, especially when it comes to your manifestations coming to reality. Now the faces of totems. When you look at these particular faces here, you know, you can almost see different human beings having different faces. So look at the goat there. I'm going to tell you the animals. The goat, self-use totem. That's the face. That's the structure. Then we have, domestic confidence. Domestic confidence. Then we have the bat. What do bats do? Bats are mostly nocturnal. They fly at night. And they are mammals. Very interesting animals, especially when it comes to death. And then from the bat there we have the owl. We have the owl. We have the deer. Owls are like CCTVs in nature. When somebody looks at you like this, know that they are scrutinizing you. It's like a CCTV camera in your life. The deer is just intuition, like instincts, not like instincts. Intuition is like the final form. So deer is like gut feeling instincts that are very sharp. And then we have the bear. We have the wolf. We have the cow. We have the birds. Chicken even. And then we have the bear. So these are just a few that I put. Why am I showing you these particular faces? In order for you to be able to recognize, pay attention to people's faces. It's not a coincidence. The mode in which somebody's face is resting is directly proportional to what is going on inside of them and what they're doing. Your face carries everything that goes on inside of you. So people who know how to read faces properly can always tell what is going on with everyone in whichever situation that they are in. When somebody's looking at you this way, you can tell. When they look at you this way, you can tell. When they look at you this way, you can tell. When they look at you this way, you can tell. And then there are people who, somebody just has this face. When their Capricorn energy is very strong, then you end up developing that Capricorn face. When your Aquarius energy is very strong, you end up developing that Aquarius. So like when the energy that is more in you is the one that you embody the most. But you can always embody more than one. Now we have single totem, and that is what I wanted to talk about. We have your ability to have a single totem. And I put hyenas here specifically for you to never look down on any totem. Every totem is useful. No animal is useless, guys. If you can't work with an animal, just leave them alone. There are people who can work with them. But all animals should be respected from their own point of view and should be loved. So if you know you are a hyena, hyenas are people who, opportunists. When they watch, them they don't hunt by themselves. Hyenas, they watch other people hunt, and then they go and they take it. They go as a group and they take it away. So if you know that is how you earn your daily bread and butter, don't be ashamed of yourself. If you know there is no other way for you to survive, just pick a totem and work with it, and just walk so that the universe will always direct you into taking away from people who deserve it. Because there are people who deserve their things to be taken away, and there are people who don't deserve it. So when you work with a totem, then you will be doing no evil and accepting no evil, even in your theft and kleptomaniac ways. Even in your kleptomaniac ways, you will always find yourself stealing from people that deserve it and never from people that don't deserve it. Only if you work with totems will you get into the cosmic rhythm, the rhythm of authenticity, the rhythm of barter trade. Yeah, so you can work with single totems, and also it is possible to work with multiple totems. Just like it is possible to work with a single totem. Now these are the masters. The masters, now you work. You can work with more than one and build your own life. So guys, up to that particular point, kindly let me know if you have any questions before I get into the forecast. I give you the forecast of November, what is coming before I leave the class, and see you again on 6th. Any question or anything to be said, to be added? Anything to be added? Did you comprehend the class? Yeah. Yeah, so just, I'm teaching this. Somebody might ask that, oh, you're teaching this, but now we are in a world where we are using cars and blah. You don't have to use them in the physical dimension. I'm teaching you so that you can use them in the spiritual dimension. When you need to travel in the spiritual dimension, you can use these particular animals to get your travel as we figure out our way through life. So other than that, I'm just going to get to the November forecast and then leave before the class is too long. So on November 4th, today is November 4th and tomorrow is November 5th, we have something called the Taurid meteors. And these Taurid meteors, they're not going to affect us so much because we have the full moon tomorrow. So because thanks to the full moon tomorrow, we will not be having the meteor. And also guys, you remember there was supposed to be the peak of Orionids in October. Okay, Siri, when you physically see these animals, how do we channel their totems towards us? So most of it, when you see animals, just as a woman, just allow yourself to be authentic around animals. If you don't know them well, allow yourself to be authentic with animals, around animals, if you don't know them well. But if you know the animals well, like for example, you meet an animal like a panther. Panther is all about your ability to trust your intuition without looking the other side. Your ability to see in the dark. Your ability to know that your intuition is right and be confident in waiting for it to become a reality. So when you see a panther, that is what is required of you. And if you cannot, if you are somebody who you are not able to hold on to your intuition until it becomes reality, you are not able to believe in your intuition, because remember, intuition can never cross to become reality unless you believe in it. So if you don't believe in your intuition that it is going to become reality, it does not come, and that makes you an enemy of a panther. But if you believe that your intuition is going to become reality and it does come, that makes you the best friend of a panther. So your ability to see in the dark, when you see a panther, that is what it is talking about and stuff. So when you see an animal, just allow yourself to connect with it, mostly through eye contact. If you can have eye contact with an animal, it's beautiful. If you cannot have eye contact with an animal, just go try have eye contact with them on camera, in a video, before in person. You know, there are people who can't even have eye contact with human beings. So if you know you cannot even have eye contact with human beings, then animals is not your territory yet. But if you know you're confident enough to never look away from anyone, then animals is a territory that you're ready for. So as I was saying, October we were supposed to have a peak, but then around that time that we were having the peak, you know, there's a leader in Kenya that died. And that was a meteor as well. Not really a meteor, that was a comet. Raila's death was a comet. So there was a lot of distraction of that Orion thing that was supposed to happen because of, you know, Raila's death was big. However much anybody wants to downplay it, it was a big thing on the planet. And it coincided directly with the Orion. So that was a good thing, you know. Raila hadi in his death alitusaidia yako kidogo. Tusinyoroshwe sana na Orion. So now again, Taurids this month again. The reason why I'm saying this is because there seems to be a lot of distraction for meteors this year. And I don't think it's a coincidence. Because also the meteor that was supposed to be in, I think all meteors that were supposed to be in October were disrupted. And then right now the Taurid meteor is being disrupted by the full moon tomorrow. So the Taurids started on September 7th and they are supposed to peak today. Today night. Right now as I'm speaking, I'm not paused. Am I paused? I'm not. I don't think so. So, yeah, so the Taurids will not have so much effect. What it was supposed to have was for you not to support yourself as much. But then because of the full moon tomorrow, when it is peaking, when you are not supposed to be supporting yourself, your intuition will come in and help you. So listen to your intuition a lot during this particular full moon, because that is the same time that the Taurids are peaking. Now November 5th you have the full moon, which is the second super moon of the year. And this moon is all about going into a new adventure from whose lessons the year 2026 will run. So the adventure that you're about to go into right now with this particular full moon, that is the adventure that is going to carry out your the entire year next year until we come back here again. So please just know, be aware of that. The fact that the new adventure that you are getting into right now, in December you're going to be tested a lot if you're going to still stay loyal. So there are new decisions that you've made. There are new ways of thinking that you've gotten into. There are new timelines you've jumped into. There are new ways of doing things that you're starting. There are new ways of doing things that you are about to start. Those new ways, this full moon is there to help you start them. But then the next full moon, that is in December, it's going to test you to abandon them. No, I'm not. I don't know what's happening, my people. My dogs were also shouting. Okay. So yeah, you're going into a new adventure. So that's the new thing, that new routine, new. There's something, there are new stuff, new ways of hunting in life that you've established. So those hunting skills, you're kicking them off this November. December, and then this full moon is going to help you to kick them off in mighty ways, in beautiful ways that are having you inspired. December is going to bring a blockade to have you abandon them. So be careful with these last two full moons that we are having towards the end of the year. Now, November 18th, November 17th at night and 18th morning, we have Leonid meteor shower. Now, this Leonid meteor shower is supposed to make you hate yourself, so that in December, you abandon the things you've started now. Guys, listen to me well. These Leonid meteors that are coming in on 17th of November at night and 18th in the morning, they are there to help you hate yourself, to trick you out of your spot. This new confidence that you're gathering right now in November, you're going to be tricked into abandoning it in December by this Leonid meteor. But I have a feeling, meteors are also changing. When the collective consciousness changes, then the meteors that are meant to make you hate yourself will make you love yourself instead. And I feel like that is what the November meteors might do. So me, I'm giving you in two forms. It's either this meteor is going to trick you out of your to-do list, your new to-do list that you've established, or it's going to even make you love your to-do list even more. So look out for those particular two energies on November 17th and 18th. And then on November 20th, we have the new moon also. That's a fresh start, which prepares us for November 21st, a very important date. Why is November 21st a very important date? November 21st is a very important date because it is on November 21st that Uranus is at the closest approach to Earth. Uranus will be at the closest approach to Earth on November 21st. What is Uranus the planet of? Somebody tell me there quickly. My birthday is beautiful, Yama. Watch out, you are probably being born again that day. Uranus is the planet of what? Siku hizi amwarakishi na answer saki. Mulinifuria ama? Mulinifuria. Uranus is the planet of what? Mulinifuria ama mmesahau? Yeah, that is quantum jump, sudden change. Quantum jump. So quantum jumping is at the closest approach to reality on 21st November. I'll repeat. Quantum jumping is at the closest approach to reality on November 21st. So this will be the best time to quantum jump. It will be the best time to shape shift. November will be the best time to shape shift. If you have a shape shifting that you're waiting to have, yes, Mercury expanded. If you have a shape shifting that you're waiting to have go on, then November 21st is the best time to do it. And then on November 30th, we will do a set rosary recital. On November 30th, we will do a set rosary recital. So those are the things that you expect on November in your own life. And as I finish this class, I want to introduce you to a particular animal that I want you to start working with from today as a new animal in our class. I've never introduced this animal to us, but today I want to introduce this animal to us and have this animal. Even if you don't already work with it, you can try and find ways. Do you know this animal? Do you know this happy animal? I find it funny that the CEO always plans big announcement meetings on the meteor days of the year. Notice that. Just don't look at it with dismissal. There's probably a reason. So now you see this animal is like hair in nature. So why am I introducing you to this animal? This animal is so slow that inside its slowness is where its power is. So the fact that it is slow, it is capable of conserving a lot of energy. The fact that it is slow, it is able to stay still. It is able to stay still without moving and camouflage through time. This is the only animal that can camouflage in time. Like, it avoids or dodges its predators or the things that hunt it by staying still. Like, by not moving. It cannot be seen by predators because when it doesn't move, when it just stops like a robot and doesn't move at all. So it's almost like hair. Your hair. Your hair holds your history, your story, the authenticity, the story of your authenticity. So when you're authentic, that information is stored in your hair. When you're authentic, that information is stored in your hair. When you're authentic, that information is stored in your hair. So the fact that your hair stores your authenticity, just you utilizing your hair, tapping into your hair can sometimes help you. You tapping into the history of your authenticity can sometimes help you to dodge things that are meant to harm you. It can sometimes help you to move so slow because, when you're authentic, that is the only way. People will be waiting for you to sign a contract, but because you're authentic, you're not signing until time passes without you having signed that particular demonic contract, and people will be like, oh, why are they not signing that beautiful contract? But you already saw something in your authenticity and you're not telling anybody. So then they are just looking at you like, why are they not doing what is expected? So that is the sloth mentality. Your ability to not do what is expected will help you to evade problems. And what makes you to have the ability to not do what is expected? The memory of your authenticity. If something happened and you are authentic in a certain way and you achieve a certain result, you can still repeat in future and you act a certain way to achieve a certain result. Even though the people who are observing you, they're like, what the fuck are they doing? They don't know because they don't have the memory of your intuition. They don't have your hair. They don't have the memory of your authenticity. So they don't know where you are fetching from. That is the sloth. When you interact with a sloth, you don't know where it's fetching from. And because of that, it is able to conserve its energy. Because of that authenticity, it is able to, even though it moves through life, it's almost like it knows it is not in a hurry. That is what authenticity does. That is what storing your authenticity does. Your ability to store your authenticity will help you to never be in a hurry but still win. You are not in a hurry and you're still winning. You are not in a hurry and you're still winning. And when you follow your authenticity, you never get tired. Being authentic, the beauty of it is you will never get tired. All your energy will always be conserved. You will never use your energy to the wrong things. So now you have all your energy. People who are not authentic, they are busy people pleasing, busy using their energy for things that have nothing to do with them. At the end of the day, they are exhausted. No energy to conserve. Now, if you follow your intuition, if you follow your hair, the memories of your hair, sloth is hair in nature. It is just hair in nature. And because of that, it is able to even pose in ways that seem unrealistic. It is able to stay in positions that not everyone can stay in. That is authenticity. When you follow the memories of your authenticity. You know, you'll be able to even sit in positions that when people look at you, they wonder, how are you able to be in that particular position? And then, you know, when you follow your authenticity also, you'll always look like you're tired to people. Or when you're working with totems, be aware of the totems as well. When you're somebody who you listen to your authenticity a lot, you'll always seem like you're boring to people. You are tired all the time. Like they don't see where you're coming from and where you're going because you're not aligned to the tailor-made authenticity by the mainstream media. You are following your own authenticity. And that is what the sloth is all about. Them, they're just doing their own thing. They're not rushing for anyone. They're just, you know, observe them. You'll see, you'll get now what hair is supposed to behave like. What your hair is supposed to behave like and the way it's supposed to be sitting on different styles. Its ability to sit in different styles and stuff like that. So I hope you get, right? Is that a worthy introduction for our new totem in the house? Is that a worthy introduction? Yeah, so get the sloth, especially as a Bantu woman. Bantu women, nyinyi sloth, nyinyi animals zote ni zenyu, nyinyi mliwaumba huku. So nyinyi ndio wa kwanza kuinteract now. So get into this, get into also just staying in your authenticity. When you're authentic, you don't need to explain yourself to anyone. You know, you just know that, oh, I just know that when I see 4-4, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I just know that when I see 2-2, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, I just know when this happens, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So you don't need to walk around explaining that to anyone. You just move with that authentic history. Does our hair, yeah, obviously, does our hair speak to us? Sometimes it's hard. Yeah, like everything speaks. Everything speaks. Lessons from a sloth. Beautiful. Yeah, everything speaks to us. Just, you know, pay attention to your, even this phone, the phone that I'm using, my phone speaks to me. My projector speaks to me. My ring light speaks to me. My computer, everything. So imagine things that are in your body. Everything, even your nails, everything speaks to you. So I think that brings me to the end of this class, guys. I will see you again on 6th. You know, I'll see you again on 6th, and you know we are going on with this class until November is done. So yeah, I don't want to talk much. Just come to class and see everything that will be coming. Come to class and see everything I have in store for you. Otherwise, thank you for coming to class. Work with the sloth as our today's takeaway. And have a beautiful, beautiful November. Full moon tomorrow. Do your rituals. Whatever you need to do, do it. And I'll see you again next time. Thank you, Zara, Elizabeth. Asanteni sana kwa kuja. Na wale wasichana wangu wa Jaluo wenye wako hapa, hata kama ni wanaume, nitawaongelesha siku moja. Kuna siku moja tu I will be talking to my Luo people only, in front of everyone else. So my Luo people who come here, I have a special message from you from the inside. And I'm going to be giving that message one day, one time. I don't know when, but I know that message will come out of me when it will come. I don't want to force it. It will come when it will come. So I hope it will find you as a Luo here for us to move forward together. But for now, just know that we are not a coincidence. We are here because our ancestors arranged. Mumbi amejipanga kweli kweli. Our ancestors walijipanga kweli kweli. Hiyo ndo mjue. Sweetie, before you go, what happens when you perceive time as it's moving so fast? Breathe. You need to breathe deep. Time is moving fast, yes. But you can slow it down as a woman. You need to breathe deep. Take your time breathing at a time. And you will forget. Don't bulldoze your way. Don't try to be perfect. But just know that, start having it at the back of your mind that I need to be breathing deeply more. When you take one breath, you take longer before you release it. So even with information, with love, with interaction, with texting other people, take your time with information. Take your time with taking other people in, digest them before you spit it out. Don't be just like, like you're just like, no. Take your time without you're dealing with energies, because time is moving fast for real. TikTok is here, social media is here. We are seeing each other, too many people at once. In one day, you're seeing too many people that our ancestors would see 2 people in a day, or 1 person in a day, or 10 people in a day. Now we are a generation where in a day, you are capable of seeing like a lot of people from a lot of different countries and a lot of different places. That is affecting timelines. We are moving fast. Time in itself is moving fast, but now you have to slow it down at your own personal level. You have to slow it down at your own personal level by doing what? Breathe deep. Normalize deep breaths. Normalize breathing deeply, and that will at least help you to get a hold of your time. Time is moving fast for real, and it is going to destroy people who cannot handle it. Inaenda kumaliza watu. Kuna watu watanyolewa na hiyo time venye ina move fast hivyo. Inanyoa watu, inatoa. So we usinyolewe. Hata sisi, everybody's feeling the time that is moving fast. Let's not pretend. But then, at least slow it down in your own individual life. Atieno, just slow it down in your individual life. Sisi tumetoka kwa ancestors wenye ni special. So connect. Na mutajua ati Mumbi amejipanga kweli kweli. Anyway guys, thank you for coming here. See you again on 6th. I love you all. Bye. Yes, bye.